Since not many people knew about it, I wanted to just tell you about it today so that if you're interested in coming down to share your information about your group or host a little nonprofit fundraiser, you can give us a call, send an email, or stop by the office and we can put you into one of those open spots.
The Downtown Hays Market opens May 25th, and then it's Brews on the Bricks on June 15th. I'm Becky Kiser, Hays Post Eagle Radio News reporter. I'm talking with Julie Ryder, Executive Director of the Downtown Hays Development Corporation, on this episode of the Hays Post Podcast.
May 25th is when that rolls up on the calendar. It's kind of hit everybody's radar when the calendar turned to May, and so registrations have kind of been pouring in. Lots of people stopping in the office. That's the bulk of what's in our mail is market registrations.
Always fun to know that the market's getting ready to open up. And one of the great things about it is the huge wide variety of options that are there for shopping. People look forward to the produce, especially, I think, and because of what's going on with the growing seasons. Then also people with greenhouses, some of the suppliers can have different veggies and available that are out of season, which is even more spectacular. But it's all homegrown, homemade, just home style, great stuff.
It really is. And, you know, I like that some of the vendors will use, we've got a vendor that'll bring breakfast burritos, and they actually use items that they purchased from one of the other vendors, you know, so they really kind of support each other's businesses.
That's
so
terrific.
That's awesome.
Well, one of the things that people may not be aware of if they don't go down regularly is that there's also an opportunity for nonprofit groups and organizations and entities to participate and to provide information to the people who come to the market about what they do. And you actually have a couple spots or more open this summer.
We do. Yeah. You know, that's something that we'd had some nonprofits contact us, say, hey, could I come down to the market? And we always just sort of tucked them in somewhere. They kind of crowded in with the market manager table. So but we were always full. We had somebody every weekend. So for the past couple seasons, we've actually reserved a spot for that. It's our weekly guest feature. We do have regulars. We've got Ask a Philosopher. That's Dr. Rob Beyer. He joins us from Fort Hays State the first Saturday of each month to discuss different topics. He's a big hit. He was... Our market vendors requested him. He came a couple times and then they said, hey, we got to get that guy back. They really liked him. So he also does Philosophy Cafe periodically at the Paisley Pear, and I know those are well attended. We also have Master Gardeners, comes on the second Saturday of each month. They've been coming for several years. So the remaining Saturdays are just left open for other nonprofit groups to come talk about their organizations. Big Brothers, Big Sisters will join us around Duck Derby time. Sunflower Health comes every season. Boy Scout groups during fundraising season. So we have about a handful of those spots left open. And since not many people knew about it, I wanted to just tell you about it today so that if you're interested in coming down to share your information about your group or host a little nonprofit fundraiser, you can give us a call, send an email, or stop by the office and we can put you into one of those open spots.
Terrific. When the groups are participating in the market, is there a lot of back and forth? Do they have things they hand out? What do they usually do?
It varies depending on whether or not they're just trying to get information out. You know, Big Brothers, Big Sisters will sell their ducks at the time, you know, so that everybody can get a duck in the race. Like I said, the Boy Scouts will sell their popcorn when they're down there. Sunflower Health is there to kind of put out some information. Just other groups, kind of depends on what they do, but you know, we've had Habitat for Humanity down there. It's just a good place for people to have good traffic and people to stop by and find out more about what they are about.
People who have not met Dr. Rob Beyer might be surprised that you can ask a philosopher pretty much anything you're curious about. Have a great discussion with him.
Absolutely. He is great to talk to.
Fun times. Do you have every spot marked out so far? I mean, are you full down in the pavilion and beyond?
We do. We have 40 some vendors. And like I said, we had 5 new applications just yesterday. So they're going to start rolling in like that. So
that's super.
I would anticipate we're going to have over 60 like we did last year.
That's true.
You know, we don't have all 60 vendors every week, but they are registered and they can come down anytime. Some of them know that they're only going to make it a couple times a month, but we've got lots of them that we actually have a lot from out of town. We've got a new lady coming from Garden City. So she doesn't know that she can be there every week, but she wanted to make the trek to Hays. And so she's reserved a spot so that when she kind of comes screaming into town early in the morning, she's got a spot reserved for her. So and very reasonable fees. So it's not too big a deal for them to do that.
Let's remind the shoppers when the market opens and what the hours are.
Opens May 25th, and it will run all the way to October 19th. So that is 22 weeks. People often ask, oh, how late does it go? Or can't believe that we're still running that late into the season. But 22 weeks, we open at 7:30 a.m. every Saturday morning, and we close up at 11.
And again, because there is, as you said, 60 plus vendors, and it's going to be different every week, the different vendors, and then vendors themselves may have different things that they are.
That's right. You always need to come back. It's great to check that out. We do put out a market list. So we do a roll call with our market vendors every week. We've got a special page for them on Facebook, and so we know who's coming. They RSVP to us by Wednesday, and then our market manager, Ben Domi, we can't wait to have him back again this season. He puts out a map for our general public and shows who's actually going to be there so that we know. And people can take a look at that on Thursday or Friday and see if their vendor's going to be there, or definitely see if they're marked absent. But some of our regulars, they don't miss a Saturday.
It's a lot of fun. It's the town square, and people are visiting,
really
and
is.
you see people with their dogs and the kids in the stroller, and it's just a great time.
Yep, it really is.
Nice. We were talking about the opportunity for nonprofit groups and others to get their information out at the market. There's also the Bazaar on the Bricks sidewalk sale that's later in the summer, which is another opportunity to do that.
It is. Yes, we've set that for Saturday, July 27th. We actually block off Main Street from 12th Street all the way down to 8th. And we invite everybody to come down. That is any business in town that wants to come down and sell something. It's nonprofit groups, school groups. Hays High Athletic Boosters has come down and sold the yard signs and T-shirts, things like that. It's really anybody that wants to come down. We're welcoming everybody. We'd like to have the streets full and create just a great atmosphere for that day.
That's always a fun event, too. Well, we want to remind everybody, and I don't know that they need reminding, but Brews on the Bricks is right around the corner as well. And a few changes this year, some fun things.
Yes, coming up June 15th. We're in our 8th year for this event. Once again, sponsored by Eagle Radio as our presenting sponsor. As I mentioned last month, we're making those changes, moving it to the Downtown Pavilion. We're also pushing it back to a later afternoon, early evening event. That was sort of out of necessity. When you have it in June, we have market at the pavilion on Saturday morning. So instead of that 6 or 7 a.m. setup we had when Brews opened at noon, we're pushing it back so that we can do both. We don't ever want to cancel a market Saturday. Sure. It's just too important. So we'll be pushing that back, and we've had a very favorable response to that. People are kind of looking forward to having that more as an evening event. So ticket sales are going well, particularly the VIP. Everyone's excited about that new VIP lounge option this year and the perks that go with that. Hays CVB is a tent sponsor for us again this year. H3 Liquors, our glassware sponsor, and then Redeem Designs is our merchandise sponsor. I want to give a shout out to them as our premier sponsors, but it's going to be a great event. We're really looking forward to it. If you don't have tickets yet, you can get those on our website at downtownhays.com. And then lastly, I want to mention that as a nonprofit with a small staff, these big events only happen because of the help of great community volunteers. We have so many people that start asking early in the year, when is Brews? I love helping. So we've got a really great list of people already signed up, but we can always use more. It's a big event and it takes lots of hands. So helpers needed for that. You can find the link. You can actually go on our website under the Brews page, same place you'd get tickets, and sign up to be a volunteer.
Oh, easy then.
Yeah.
What kinds of things do the volunteers do, Julie?
We need everything from people to help us set up. There's a lot of tables and things to be placed, banners, signs to be put up. Then we need people to sell T-shirts in our merchandise tent. All the other things that go with that. We have our little koozie lanyards that everybody loves. Those sell out right away. We need people to take tickets. We need people to check ID. So lots of different things. And then, of course, we need people to pour in the tent. So it is a 21 and over volunteer. But, if there's some people that want to come early and help with the setup, we'd sure appreciate that. We get the Fort Hays wrestlers come and help us set up and tear down. And my goodness, do those boys work.
Oh, well, and probably quickly. And they've got some muscle behind them. So
they do. I'm amazed when I watch them. I think, how in the world did they do that so quickly and with such effort? I would be laid up for a week if I had to move all the stuff they do.
Fort Hays State does a lot. They have their athletes engaged in so many community activities like this, and a lot of times it's the muscle work that
it is, and they're hardworking kids.
They are.
They don't stop.
That's great. The volunteers, do they need to be there for the entire time, or do you have shifts?
Nope. We have shifts, and actually, when you go on to our page, our website, and you can click on the link that says "Become a Volunteer." and it has all of that. You can put in what time frame you're available. You get a free T-shirt and lunch out of it, and you also get a sample taster so that if you can participate in part of it as a guest, and then volunteer for some of that time too.